Hey, what's up everybody? It's me, Lucas LDG. Welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be reviewing another LEGO Marvel set. This is the LEGO Marvel Wolverine Mech Armor set. This was meant to release in January, but then was delayed because, LEGO delayed it and they didn't really specify why. Some people speculated that it had something to do with the stability of the mech to its legs. So I'll get more into that later, but yeah. Let's go ahead and take a look at the set. It has one minifigure, which is Wolverine, and the build of the mech itself. So, taking a look at the minifigures first, we have Wolverine here, which this is, I believe, our first Wolverine since 2014. I guess not counting the Mighty Micros version of the character. And this is a very comic accurate design. I don't know why, but I just really like this design. It's a very comic-y like outfit, which I like for the figure. You can see it has this X-Men yellow color scheme, which is something that the X-Men always use, and this is a lot like the one from the X-Men cartoon from like the 90s. So yeah, that's a really nice callback. You can see some nice printing on the torso, which even has the X-Men logo on there, which that printing also continues to the back. And he also has his traditional Wolverine claws, which are just pieces that you just clip onto the figure, the hands of the figure, so it's pretty easy to remove. And you can see the helmet is also a separate piece. It's not like the Batman one. It's sort of similar, but you can see this time it has like the goggles printed on there. So yeah, it is pretty similar to the Batman one, but it's not the exact same. This is a little bit different from that. You can see on the back he also does have a face print without the goggles on there, but unfortunately there is no hairpiece included with this figure for some reason, which all the other Marvel mechs have hairpieces for the characters that come in that set. So I don't know why they don't have it here. It would have been nice if we got a hairpiece, but oh well. So here is the build for the LEGO Wolverine mech, which, yeah, I know, it doesn't really make sense for Wolverine to have a mech. I mean, he's a mutant, and, like, why does he need, like, a machine to do stuff? But, yeah, this is still a pretty decent design, actually. I like the color scheme with the blue and the yellow, which is a very X-Men-like color scheme that I associate it with. Let's start with the arms, which I think is, like, the best part of this. You can see it does have a lot of articulation. Like, these mechs in general have a lot of movement in them, which is really nice. So you can move the shoulders, these elbow parts, even in the wrists. But I don't know, there's something about like the arm section that I really like. I really like how they have these big claws out here, which uses that Ninjago blade piece thingy to represent Wolverine's claws, which is really nice in silver. So yeah, I don't know, I just like how that looks. And you can see they're just clipped on there, and they also still have fingers for the character, or not really for the character, but for the mech, which that is the same thing on both sides. Once again, a lot of articulation on there, and I really do like how they try their best to like cover up some really like weird details, like with the gray stuff on there. I like how they do their best to cover it up, like using these padding pieces and all these tiles on there, which does make for a pretty nice looking design. Moving on to the legs, you can see that there actually isn't much articulation as I hoped. Like, you can't really move it forward because it gets caught on this part here, which is one of, like, this is probably my least favorite part, actually. The legs look fine, but, like, you can't really get much movement out of it. Like, you'll kind of have to, like, move it to the side and do that instead, which I guess is okay. Once again, they do their best to try to like tile off everything, which actually does look pretty good. Although, I mean, this gray stuff kind of bleeding through doesn't really look that great, but what could they do, right? And yeah, you can see a lot of ball joints, so you can also adjust here, and also on the knees and on the legs. But yeah, this is like the worst part in my opinion. It's this part here, which you can already see that the legs aren't exactly aligned, because these are two separate pieces. So like you can see one is like on the bottom and one is on the top. So when you put the legs together, it doesn't align perfectly, and that also blocks the movement for these legs, which before in the older mechs, for some reason it was able to work, but for this mech design, for some reason they changed it up in 2022 compared to like the previous two mech designs. Yeah, let's compare this to the Venom mech set, which is another mech set I have. You can see you get so much articulation. You can move the legs all the way back. But here, it's being blocked by these pieces, which is actually, I think, a piece that they changed out from the original box design. You can see that there are pieces there which are clearly different from the ones that are used here. So that must have been something that they had to change that could have like affected the stability of it. But yeah, I mean, it makes it more stable at least, but like it just doesn't get much movement out of it. But yeah, I guess it's kind of a small complaint, but still, would have been nice if you got more posability with the legs. And the last part is, of course, this middle section here, which is where you put your minifigure. You just put this guard area down, which is a piece that they always use for these mechs. You can see it actually has the X-Men logo on there, which does look really nice, which also has another one here on this tile here, which is, I guess, is supposed to represent like a belt buckle, which I like that. I really like those prints. And you can just put that down, and there is a divider kind of piece for Wolverine. You can just put him in there, and he looks pretty good in the mech. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's still kind of weird that Wolverine has a mech, but yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I do actually quite like how this turns out. But yeah, here's how it looks from the back, which, yeah, they do actually do pretty well to tile stuff off, which I do like that they do that, which is something that they didn't really do too much for the other mechs. But yeah, it is pretty smooth out here. But yeah, that's really it for the builds of the set. Let's take a look at the box, and then I'll give my final thoughts. So here is the box of the set, which, yeah, you can see it doesn't really follow the same Marvel box format. I mean, it's the same format for the mechs, but you can see that the art on it's different. It just says Wolverine. It doesn't say like X-Men or something, which is kind of sad. I wish they had like more X-Men sets, but oh well. You can see on the back here just shows another, I guess, angle or another view of the mech. And for the instructions of this set, it's pretty small. You can see at the end we have an ad for the other two Marvel mechs. We have, of course, the Wolverine mech, which we just reviewed, and we have the Iron Man mech and the Black Panther mech, which I've still yet to review. And it doesn't show the Doctor Strange one, but yeah, those are really all the Marvel sets for this year. I was kind of hoping for some more. So, how do I feel about this set? I think it's a pretty good set. It's a pretty solid set in my opinion. I mean, it doesn't really make sense for Wolverine to have a mech, but the design on it does look pretty cool. I like the color scheme of it with the nice yellow and the blue that they have going on for the mech design, which is a very comic X-Men design to it, which I like. The Wolverine minifigure is also a pretty awesome design, although I do kind of wish the legs had dual-molded legs, and I wish it had a hairpiece, which is something that we have hair pieces for the other Marvel characters that appear in the mechs, but for some reason it doesn't have that for Wolverine, which would have been nice if he got a hairpiece. I don't really know why they didn't. And I think the mech is pretty posable for the most part. I also like how they are able to, I guess, tile everything off to make it not look so awkward and very robotic-like. But yeah, that's really how I feel about this set. And I want to know what you guys think about this set in the comments down below. And yeah, that's really it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!